A man does not want sex, a man needs sex.
Yeah. Right.
And there's a difference. Per 1 milliliter of sperm is between 50 and 200 million sperm cells in 1 milliliter. There's a potential between 50 million and 200 million people swimming around in 1 milliliter. Come on. And God has created a man to dispel that seed. Furthermore, it's the woman who has to take a hiatus off every month from sex, not the man. A man can stay on from the time he living to the time he dies. What I'm trying to tell you is, if you put a worm in the water, if you put a hook in the water, you don't put no worm on it, you don't get no fish. If you got to put on y'all breasts, booties, thighs, lips, that's the worm on the hook.
All right, hold on. As the pastor of this podcast, as the person who has deemed himself, and I agreed, because I stand with it, let's pass the mic up in here. You have to speak on behalf of all pastors, all Instagram clergymen. You have to speak for them. What was that?
Dude, that's one of these backwoods country preachers that he thought he was saying something, that was salacious. I hate these dudes, man. I really, really do. Like, cause all right, this is the biggest reason I hate these dudes, right? He's talking about like, y'all women need to be having sex with your husbands. I hate when men do this. I hate when men make it seem like we're the ones that are after sex. Right? Women are after sex too.
Yeah, they like it.
Like women like sex too.
It's
right?
in the music.
They like it more than what we do. They are talking about booty holes brown and eating butt in songs, bro.
Shout out to Sexy Red. That's my girl.
Like, so like women like sex. So I hate when men come on here and then they're walking up to women as if to say, hey, you need to reward your husband with sex. Like, no, you ain't rewarding me with shit. Yeah. Right? You know what I'm saying? Because I show up in the bedroom and put it down and I do the damn thing too.
Talk your shit, Mike.
Like, no, I'm going to talk my shit because, like, real talk, man, like, when a dude is great in bed, when a dude is good in bed, bro, he's never, like, to all y'all dudes that, like to shoot shit and be like, yo, y'all ain't getting no women. Yeah, maybe y'all don't because y'all aren't good in bed. But dudes who are good in bed, bro, they have no problem getting women, man. Zero problem. So I hate when dudes come on, especially pastors, and they're like, ladies, y'all need to have sex with y'all husbands, right? Like if a woman is not having sex with a man, there is a reason for that. It ain't because she ain't horny.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I hate this whole skit of y'all women aren't horny enough. Hey, dude, I was so happy when my testosterone dropped in my 30s. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, man, that was a wild ride from fucking 17 to 29. But women, theirs take off the older they get.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Yeah, so yeah, you need to be.
Bro, my wife said something. This might be too much for the pod. She said something a couple of days ago. We went to the Drake concert. Yeah. She was lit. And then I had to go to bed. And she looked me in my eyes the next day. She was like, yo, I was going to get your ass last night.
Yeah.
And I was scared. I never looked at my wife scared. She was like, nah,
dude,
I was ready.
Have you tried to, like, have you ever had a woman that really want to have sex and you be like, no? Oh. Like, dude, you might have to get into a fight. Yeah. Like, you might get into a real actual fight.
Yeah, and then they start putting their nails in you and shit. Like, yo, this ain't the time for that.
Yeah, like, God forbid she want to have it and then you just, like, give it up because you just like, all right. Let me go and get it. And then you whack. Like, oh Lord, bro, I don't know what's worse. Giving whack sex when she really wanted sex, or giving her no sex when she really wanted sex.
Or coming quick. I got a homeboy. He listened to the pod, man. He came in his jeans, like he didn't even get it out.
Hey, so low key, I hate when dudes go on and make it seem like sex is a reward for men. Like, nah, fuck that. Sex is a reward for women also, if you're gonna have that point of view. So don't sit up here and be like, hey, y'all ladies not having, like, no, find out why they're not having sex, right? Maybe y'all men aren't interested anymore. Maybe y'all aren't sexy anymore. Maybe you need Cialis, right? Find out, like, real talk, why the women aren't wanting to have sex with men. It's an easy dunk on men, and I hate it.
Well, my issue is this. I am tired of, how do we say this? The days of creating gender wars in church is played out. This ain't the 90s no more.
Yes.
This ain't the early 2000s. We are done with that. Because a lot of time pastors have, and me and Mike come from holiness churches, so let's just put that out there. So it was a lot of fire and brimstone, and then they realized the error of their ways and saw membership was dunking, and they was like, oh, let's become elevation. The thing is like this thing of bashing men. And it's different ways the church do it, right? So back in the day, it was always like, yo, men are the foundation, broken homes, blah, blah, blah. And then it became women, you are, we start promoting the Proverbs woman, right? And then it's like, oh, now let me tell you how y'all are leading your men astray. The weirdest part about, and me and you have sisters, so we understand this point. It was weird, at least I don't know how it was for you. You grew up in a different era of the church than I did, but it was always weird hearing the pastor tell women how they are causing men to sin because their skirt was too short or they arms was out, and it's almost like damn, and they ran with that. And so
I didn't attend the church like that. My father is not a simp, so he never said dumb stuff like that. Dad would be like, hey, y'all do wildin'.
Yeah,
y'all need to chill.
Yeah, and so now I'm hearing
he be saying that to his own son, like, bro, you gotta
relax,
you gotta chill, bro.
Knees can't do this to you.
You gotta chill, man.
And it's so like now you get into this new age of like these new pastors, like, bro, y'all don't have to talk about sex in church.
You don't. Well, I mean,
you don't have to be like vivid. Like,
yeah,
our favorite pastor, the goofy one who always wear a fitted on the top of his fro.
He's so fucking goofy.
And he was talking about your penis and all this. It's like, bro, it's like, yo, get your point across, bro. Like, you not getting none. I could tell.
Well, he's married. And here's the thing, right? Marriage is a cheat code to sex. So,
absolutely.
So I hate when dudes like talk, this idea of like, oh, well, I know what's going on in the world. Oh, you don't. You've been married. Oh, you should.
Yeah.
Some of y'all married.
I don't know what's going on.
Some of y'all married dudes do know what's going on in the dating world.
Come on, man. We want one of them to be a guest on our pod. Gotta relax. I sent out an email. Yo, I want to welcome everybody to the Black Dads Club. This is episode 112. My glasses are dirty, so I've been cleaning them for the last 2 minutes.
112. Way the players dwell.
Yo, shout out to 112, the group, man.
Y'all don't even know anything about 112 anymore,
Y'all
man.
love Cupid. My first girlfriend, she made me listen to Cupid, man. I still love that song.
Like that was the music back in the day that taught men like how to be players.
Yeah, man.
Y'all
Shout out to her,
don't know how to
man.
be players no more.
She hit right now. She is ugly.
Man, you cannot say that.
She doesn't look the best. She played me twice. But I might have played her once.
You know what? Save that for the killing your ex portion of the pod.
Yo, man, shout out to her, man. I remember one time my boys hit me up in church because they were there and I had left church early. And it was like, yo, she looking for you. And she looks hideous.
What?
She looked, life hit her. I'm going to just put it like that. She went through life. This is episode 112. Shout out to 112, the group. I hope y'all not beefing no more because black men don't need to beef. We'll get to that in a little bit. Shout out to my wife. I do want to put this out there. Last episode, I was looking a mess. As soon as the episode was over, she told me to go get a haircut. So I'm here with a haircut. And she brought up a great point.
What's that?
She said, what if my eyebrows and my nails were never done? Or what if I got them done as much as you get your haircut?
Ooh.
How would you feel?
Ooh.
Told her it was unfair.
Bars. She's a rapper.
She is a rapper. It was, and I was just like, yo, man, I be working. And I told her, I was like, I don't never say nothing about your nails. Now, her eyebrows, I don't play with that. So she had a point. She got me. So, and so I went to Darnell. Darnell, as soon as I sat in the chair, shout out to Sharpest Nails. He said, I hope you didn't record today because it's Tuesday. And I said, I did. And he was like, don't put them videos out.
He just shook his head.
He shook his head. But
look, man, according to the comment section, we're not good looking anytime. So
we are unattractive. And we bozos. Y'all are mean.
Y'all are mean,
but we
love our mean tweets though. I mean, I'm pretty sure we can find them quickly. So on behalf of the pod, fuck y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. We know why y'all here. You've seen the picture. We don't even have a title yet. But you've seen the photo on the podcast cover, and we know why you here. Drake dropped, and him and Joe Budden have been beefing. It seemed one-sided, but we gonna get there. Let me put it like this, man. We about to break this down, and we're not finna be if you want to know Joe's response or our take on Joe's response or whatever, this ain't the episode for you. You should probably go listen to Joe's episode. It drops tomorrow. But Drake did drop an album for the dogs. And I have to be honest, he was talking to the wrong dogs, and we thought he was talking about the Rottweilers, the Pit Bulls, what's another big ass scary dog? Bulldogs. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about the Frenchies. He's talking about the baby dogs. He was talking about the dogs that the baddie who works at the bar.
Yeah.
He was talking about her dog.
You know what? So I did not listen to Drake's album, right?
Because you're aged out.
I am aged out, and this is something that I had to realize was when I read Joe's response, he wasn't wrong in the traditional sense of we're used to seeing rap artists grow up. Like we grew up with Nas, like as Nas matured, we matured, right? We grew up with Jay-Z, right? Jay-Z music changed, right? When Jay-Z dropped, so we talk about like 1999, right?
Yeah.
When Jay-Z dropped back then, right? Jay-Z's targeted demographic for music was 14-year-olds to 30-year-olds.
Okay.
Right? Basically like a 15-year window, right? When Jay-Z dropped the album at 30, right, his targeted demo was the same crowd.
Yeah.
It wasn't a different crowd, right? It was everybody that grew up with him. All right?
Okay.
But when he first dropped the album for the first time, that wasn't like 30 plus wasn't his targeted demo.
Okay.
He grew into that and then he made, all right, my target demo now is going to be 21 to 36, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So I think we're used to that as hip hop fans and artists. Drake's done something completely different, right? In the streaming era, right? When Drake first dropped, his targeted demographic was 16 to 30, right?
Yeah.
Like all of us that fell within that, we listened to it.
Absolutely.
Now that we're older, Drake's targeted demo is still
16 to 30.
16 to 30.
So let's do this. If you do not know, maybe you hear from the podcast, maybe you hear because you want to laugh. We are in Charlotte. I am born and raised here. Mike has been here forever. He's basically a Charlatan, but he is still
I still claim my home.
He's still Fairfield to he out of here.
That's it.
And with that being from Charlotte, Drake dropped 8 a.m. in Charlotte. And let me let y'all know, I was totally disgusted. I was let down.
I have not heard it yet.
You don't need to hear it.
Is it not good?
No, it's the worst out of the bunch.
Let me Google the lyrics.
It's just dry. It's slow. Most time when Drake does these time step records, they upbeat, they up tempo. He talking his shit on there, and I'm trying to figure out which Charlotte girl that he hit up or hit him up that he met when he was out here. And I got a couple of y'all who I'm thinking it couldn't have been.
Can't say the name. You can say they work and how they look, maybe.
Nah,
Can't say the name.
man. Yo, I know who he should have hit up. If he wanted the right timestamp record, Yo, Kenyelle could have hit her up, man.
You got to show me who all these people are.
I can show you, man.
You have to show me all these people are.
Look, Kelly, he could have hit up. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who she is. Wallace she probably hit him up, man. It's some baddies who he could have hit up.
Drake looked like he likes to slum it though.
I don't know. And I'm gonna tell you this. All jokes aside, I grew up. If you don't know, I used to work at a hotel. I used to work for the Ritz-Carlton, and Drake stayed there. And let me tell you, it's never been a rapper who stayed there who's more clean, more low key, and more just about his business than him, and which throws you off. I've seen rappers come in trash rooms. I've seen rappers have girls come in rotation. I've seen it. Drake, it's no smoking in there. It's no ordering drinks in there. You never see anybody go up or down. It was very, very, very low key. Now, mind you, this was the Nothing Was the Same days. How long ago this was, right? And he was chill. He was still the number one rapper at that time, but he was super, super chill. Now, I don't know. But so 8 a.m. in Charlotte come out, and automatically I'm disappointed. And then I see the track list and I see 8 a.m. in Charlotte's on there. When I hear an album called For the Dogs, I'm thinking it's go time.
Yeah. It's about to be what's the toxic rapper name? Future.
Oh, Future is my guy. I see Virginia Beach on there, so I'm like, oh, Pusha T getting smoked, first record off, right? I see What Would Pluto Do, so I already know it's basically a Future, like we talking about Future. I see Sexy Red and SZA on there, so I'm super excited. Yo, I love Sexy Red. I'm letting y'all know that right now.
I don't.
Let me tell you why I love Sexy Red. She is making these half-ass I'm nasty chicks either be quiet or step it up, because she just off the chain, right? So I'm looking at this, and then funny enough, I see Joe catching smoke, because this weekend I actually traveled out of town, and I didn't get to hear. I left my AirPods back at home, bro, so I couldn't even listen to the album or the pod. And so I get back home, and so I listened to the album at first, and I'm just going through skimming, and then people keep texting me, yo, what you think about the album? And then they'll let me know, like, yo, it's a letdown. And I'm like, why? And they was like, yo, the narrative was already out that, yo, Drake is around young girls. So I listened to the album, and
we got to be clear of that, because that's dangerous wording, right? Young girls, right? What are we talking about? We talking about college freshmen. We talking about women in their 20s. Because y'all have adolescents the fuck out of women.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I'm looking at young chicks. Give me an age and I'll tell you what's too young.
21.
No, I'm talking about the age of the man. My fault.
Oh, the age of the man?
Yeah.
How old is Drake? 35?
35, 36?
Yeah.
Drake shouldn't be talking to no woman under the age of 25.
Oh, I mean, look, I'm not mad at the take. So when we say young girls, we're saying that he's talking to women under the age of 25?
Sure. For his
okay.
age, yeah. But I mean, I'm looking at that, so when I'm listening to it, it does give that young girl feel like, these are the young baddies. It reminds me of my tape of the concert. I told y'all I was in there and it was a bunch of like 21, 22, 24-year-olds in there who didn't even know, they only know the music that he's making for now.
Yeah. Well, so, on one of the shows, right, it's like where Colin was right, where Colin was wrong, right? Mm-hmm. So, using that analogy, right, where Joe Budden is right and where Joe Budden is wrong, right? When Joe Budden is like, Drake is making music for the kids, right? Mm-hmm. All right, he's right about that, right? Absolutely. But when you look at streaming numbers, right, adults aren't streaming shit. We don't have time. So if it's a business decision, then Drake has to make music for 16 to 28-year-olds because those are where the streaming numbers are coming from, in his industry.
Do he have to?
He doesn't have to, but if he's about money, that's what he's going to do. That's what he's going to do. And I'm going to say this: anything from a college graduate woman or higher, that's a woman, man. I don't do this. I don't stretch adolescence to 28 for women because we only do this for black men.
Okay. We don't. We do it.
They've been trying to get Leo DiCaprio.
He's a creep.
They've been trying.
He's a creep.
But he keeps getting movies. No one talks about it. It's not on the news. It's the same small white feminist crowd that keep trying to label him, and everybody ignores it.
Well, because here's my thing. I think it's weird that dudes that are grown can somehow relate to young women.
I don't think they're trying to relate to young women. I think they're trying to sleep with them.
No. If I'm dating you, I'm trying to relate to you. I don't even know how you get a young girl in your bed without talking to her if she's too young.
Because you're talking about sex. Right? It's just sex.
No.
That's all it is. Dude, they're not. Look, the dudes that actually try to marry, women that are not interested in them, like the guy from Real Housewives that keep making the clips where, he's like, he gave his wife a pass and all this other stuff. Yeah, like you're going to get taken advantage of if you're actually trying to wife up a woman that's not interested in you. Yeah. But like for a Drake that's making young music, like if he's sleeping with a woman, right? She's in grad school. Like, dude, he's not trying to get to know her. Okay. He might trick off, but he ain't trying to get to know her.
And so none of these are qualities of men. Let's keep it a buck. Like if I'm 36, I'm 35 right now. I'm about to be 35, right? It's nothing that me and a 24-year-old can talk about for me to even get her to my bed. Like it's nothing. When you come
she's horny. The only thing you got to talk about is like, come up to the presidential.
Okay, cool. So I go to her and so then guess what? If a baby come out of that, if some other shit come out of that, you as a man can't be mad. You got to live with that.
Yeah, you do have to. Yes, I would agree. You have to live with the consequences of your actions.
So here's the thing. When I come up to a young girl and she say, "Hey, I'm such,"
she's not a young girl. Let's stop calling them young girls. These are grown women. These are women, bruh. We can't tell them they can make OnlyFans and then make them girls simultaneously.
No, they are young girls.
We can't tell them that they can be.
They are not underage.
We can't tell them that they strippers. We can't tell them that they could be OnlyFans girls. We can't tell them that they could be bottle girls. We can't tell them that they could do all the things that adults could do. But then when it comes to the consequences of their decision, well, y'all was too young. Like, no, fuck that. Because we don't do that for young boys.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't. When young boys go out and commit a crime at 18, we don't look at them and be like, you know what?
Yes,
you probably gonna be better at 24. No, we don't. We throw the book at them.
You moving the goalposts. I'm not talking about crimes. We're not talking about people that's underage. We're not talking about crimes. So let's not do that. When these young niggas be out here shooting, or let's do it like this. When these young boys be in the comments talking shit, we call them young boys all the time. When a young athlete who's 22 gets got by a sniper, and we call him, that's some young boy shit.
Yeah, we do. So let's keep it, but we call it immature, right? Like no one
start calling these young chicks immature.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like call them immature, right? Don't make them extended adolescents.
For the old heads that like young bitches, I get it. Y'all can have them, but when you come to, and this is the problem with dating right now, because when dudes who are of a older age, and I'm talking about mid-30s, when they get caught by a sniper, then they want to get mad and they want to call out these women and say, yo, I was giving her hall passes. No, bro. Yeah, you dating young chicks.
So, and we're going to clown him for that, right?
No, I'm clowning everybody on it, because this is the problem with the dating world. When old dudes get done, they in their late 30s, early 40s, and they come out and they want to know why these girls, because they call them girls then. It's like, why is they gold diggers? Why, bro, they 23. They don't want you. They want to live their life. They want to travel. They want to be on Instagram. They want to act wild. Let them act wild. That's who they are. So when I'm looking at this, yes, when I'm listening to Drake, Drake, let me do it like this. Drake, Kendrick, Beyonce, they are probably, as far as like our music, they are one of the few people who, when they drop, they shift music so much that their crowd is going to follow. So if Drake said, yo, I wanted to make a 444 album, them young kids still going to listen to him.
I agree.
So when I'm listening to the songs and you talking about some, I thought I was bi because you like one of the fellas.
Hey, he said that?
No, that's my problem, dog. Like when you listening to it and you putting Sexy Red on the song, right? When you over here and you talking about all the girls, I got them packed in the room like sardines.
I used to be a Drake fan, but I evidently, again, I've aged out of Drake.
Absolutely, right? but he's and I'm gonna say it again. He's talking to the youngins, and I'm not doing I don't think Drake is. Let me put it like this. When we was younger, I always thought it was weird that NSYNC was 24 making songs for 14-year-olds. All right? That's still weird to me. That is a real thing. They were literally making songs as grown men or young boys for kids. And I'm separating it. Now, and part of me, I understand your argument, because growing up, and I don't want to circle this back to the church, but I got to. I used to think it was weird when they used to call people young adults. It's like, no, this nigga's an adult. Right? So I get your point.
Yeah.
But I'm always looking at now, on the flip side, Drake had this whole issue with, Joe has always hated on me. Because I think most people heard Joe's point and agreed. Now, also, before I get to this whole thing of like, you always been a hater, Drake, I don't know if somebody showed you the clip, but in reality, 80% of Joe's take was he agreed, he liked the album. He was like, yo, it's cool. Some of this ain't for me. And a lot of the hosts were like, yo, we're going to pick out the songs we like and we're going to keep it moving. But it was one of the things, like, you could tell when it's young, hot girls in the room. And look, women deem themselves that name. And it's like, yo, we got the hotties in the room. Yep, this is what's going to make them wild out. And so, but Drake had this take of like, yo, you've always hated on me.
Well, I mean, all right, so quiet as kept. All right, Joe Budden is definitely the podfather. Hopefully this will not stop him from letting us host for him when he goes on vacation. But Joe's pod is low-key known as a hater pod. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of on brand. So I don't think that Joe was hating as much as Joe doing what Joe does. Like that's what Joe does. It's just Drake is a huge star. Right, absolutely. Like that's the problem. Drake is almost bigger than life. Like, what male artist is bigger than Drake right now?
He got one more to Michael, which
like he
should be an asterisk by it, but whatever.
Yeah, definitely be an asterisk by it. But like he is the largest male star right now.
Well, let me ask you this: Is Joe just simply giving his opinion? And because as podcasters,
it had a little animus in it. I don't think it was just his opinion. I think that they're 1 degree of separation somewhere.
So me and you have been doing this for easily 2 years.
Oh yeah, 3. Yeah.
By the way, I was listening to Poor Minds on Joe. Them girls just started their podcast in like 2018 and 19. Yeah. They had nobody. They was talking. I found an old article with Lex talking about starting the podcast. And you fast forward it now 5 years later. We got some years to put in, but we almost there. But the thing is, I know, right? I know. I meant to send you that article.
Please send it to me.
I'm like, Mike gonna be so mad at this. It was just her. It was an article about something else going on in her life. Yeah. And she was just like, yeah, I'm about to start this podcast called Poor Minds. And I'm like, damn, that was 5 years ago. Like, it takes, but I say that to say me and you been podcasting, and I think a lot of times we give our opinions, right? on life,
Yeah.
whether it's parenting, whether it's just men shit. Me and Mike have had this young girl argument off mic plenty of times.
Yeah.
So we have arguments, and it's actually cool to see us disagree, because Mike will suck you into just agreeing with his ass and trick you on the podcast. So it's good to see us disagree. But I would say this: sometimes
salesman, baby.
Absolutely, man. It is interesting. People hear our takes and they think A is law, B that we don't think we can be corrected.
Yeah.
And then they don't think that they can be corrected. So I'm asking, how do you feel about it? Is Joe just giving his opinion?
Yeah, I know. Hey, low-key, I don't think Joe likes Drake. Wow. So I think the opinion is coming. It is coming across a little bit rough than Joe normally speaks. Right. I think this is it was a layup for Joe to dunk. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, yo, and everybody loves dunking on people, right? It happens in our comment section once a fucking week. We get dunked on, right? Like, people take the low hanging fruit all the freaking time. So I just think when you give individuals the ability to lob that bitch, yeah, and like Drake lobbed it because let's be honest, Drake last 2 albums, everybody who was Drake fans have kind of been falling off of the bandwagon. So it was easy that was an easy layup for when this album dropped, and it wasn't the old Drake. It was easy for Joe to be like, yeah, I'm about to dunk on this dude.
Yeah, let's keep it a buck. You said that. You also said in the group chat, I love exposing our group chat. I think you and Ed's exposing our group chat. Probably, it wasn't even 2 albums ago. It might have been 4. Y'all was like, yo, I think he on the decline.
Yeah.
And I think this album does not help that case. As a huge Drake fan, I'm gonna be honest with you. This album was lackluster. It is 5 songs on there that I will play. That Sexy Red and SZA song, I'm gonna keep saying it. That's getting played.
I gotta listen to this dumb song in the car on the way back. They
sample what's that? At night I think of. They sample that. That sample always works.
Subway. That sample does always work. See, I don't even know who that is.
No,
because I barely know who that is.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell y'all this. Let me do this about Drake right quick, because I'm about to. Oh shit. Oh, never mind. It ain't gonna play. I was about to play Bongos by Cardi B. That song fell.
Well, I mean, all right. So fair use, and we got to keep it on.
No. I wasn't going to play something. I accidentally hit something. Let me do it like this. More Life came out. That was good. Scorpion was a little bit over the top. You know, Drake was going through a lot. The Baby. After that, this Dark Lane demo tapes. Certified Lover Boy. I loved Honestly Nevermind. I ain't gonna lie. I love that album. Plus, it was cool to hear it in Vegas. But for the masses, it was The Her Loss, that shit, I think I only like 3 songs on it. So Drake is probably about 4 albums down, and this album doesn't help. Now, I will say this. Shout out to the Southeast. Pusha T, this is another score for you, whether they want to admit it or not.
How does the score for Pusha T?
Birdman coming out and threatening Drewski and Joe. And y'all got to stop putting threats and criminal activity on the internet.
Y'all have to stop putting it on the internet for real. For real.
That is a score for Pusha T, because Pusha T said for the longest, yo, Ross has been calling out Birdman, and Birdman won't say nothing to Rick Ross. And that is true. Drake's dad coming out and writing a paragraph calling Joe Budden an old hater, not realizing that his son and him would have went to high school together, is a win for Pusha T. Why? Because Pusha T said, yo, keep Dennis Graham off the internet. He even said, yo, a Steve Harvey dress nigga made him. And if you ever see Drake's dad, he does dress
he does just
like and then
More Life was like the last good Drake album. Now I'm looking at his discography.
Yeah, that's what I was looking
More
at.
Life was like the last good one.
And I want to get to this topic, man. Yo, Pusha T did bring out in his episode on Joe's podcast. I always go back to this every time I do a review of Joe's thing. He brung up how Drake has these weird frenemies relationships. And his most noticeable one is Drake and Kanye, right? They love each other, but they hate each other. They take shots at each other. They support each other, and it's weird. Drake and Joe have that same relationship. Drake will big him up and take shots. Drake will, say thank you, or, Drake will do weird stuff. He won't never come on the show with Joe. And then he'll be listening to someone like, oh, Joey, they playing your song, and it'll be pump it up in the background. It's like all that weird shit. And I thought it was interesting over the weekend to see Joe's co-host point out Shout out to Ice. That's the homie. I thought it was interesting to see them say, hey, nah, I don't play those games with Drake. I'm not the playing type. If I don't like you, I don't like you. If you don't like me, you don't like me. And it's weird, like, seeing grown men be frenemies, man. It's just weird.
It is. I mean, it is weird, but I mean, I can understand how it happened because I mean, I think low key we have like people that pretend to like us and really don't like us.
Oh, facts.
In the pod world. So I mean, it's cool. It's cool. Like I'm not really mad at that. Stop communicating threats over the internet. That's not real G shit. Just give y'all boys a heads up. We actually had to correct a young man last week, right? Because for one, all right. So for one. Anything that you post on the internet in the comment section, you cannot enrage me to actually want to fight you, much less actually want to take your life. So stop communicating threats over the internet, over stuff people say on the internet. That's not G shit. That's not gangster shit. That's not how people move. 2, I would never, ever, ever incriminate myself over the fucking internet with a fucking threat.
And if you think you deleting it, takes it away.
And especially over state lines. Y'all guys gotta stop doing that. Lastly,
it's the young boys.
Old guys, stop fighting. All right, we too old to fight. We are too old to fight. I went to the playground with my son probably a couple years ago, and they had these little lily pads that you jump on, and I was like, jumping behind him, bro. I don't have balance like I used to. I know. I was like, I do not have balance. And the most important thing in a fight is your fucking balance, all right?
Facts.
So to y'all that never have gotten into fights that think that you're 40 and 50 and you gonna go out there and rough somebody up, it ain't happening, bro. It is not happening.
I'm so damn lazy. When my son running around in the cul-de-sac, I stand in the middle of the cul-de-sac. I let him run on the sidewalk because I'm like, I can't chase you.
Fighting is hard against people that know how to fight.
Absolutely.
Leave it alone.
Let me wrap this up. What do I think about to happen next? I think Drake and Joe about to piece it up. I would not be surprised if Joe gets on his episode tomorrow on Wednesday and it's just like, you know what? Whatever. I think this is a beautiful rollout.
What? Yeah, it would. You know what would be weird? It would be weird. It'd be funny if Drake was actually on the Joe Budden pod.
Yeah.
That would actually be hilarious.
Let me tell you this. I think it would be hilarious. I don't think it'll ever happen for one reason and one reason only. Drake is known to own the fouls when he comes on your pod. Meaning that he comes in and it's his crew. It's we own the final cut. We put this out. We will send you what you're going to put out. I would love to know how did that work with LeBron James on the shop, because I think LeBron is one of those only people. I think LeBron would give him, yo, we'll let you do this. You can, we'll put it out. But it is known that Drake does that, and it is known that Joe does not do that at all.
I mean, Joe is the podfather, man. So like, and like low key, when I looked at Drake's response, that was definitely very, very, that was lame. I ain't gonna lie. Drake's response was lame, right? I'm richer than you. Like that's always a lame go to.
Especially when it's videos of you coming out saying, yo, I used to rap like him.
Yeah, that's always a lame go to. I'm richer.
Drake always beef with the people who they must have. Look, Pusha T must have dissed him, Kanye must have dissed him, and Joe must have dissed him like when he was coming up, because he's been documented on having admiration of Kanye. He's definitely he bought a Pusha T microphone off of eBay. Like there's a video of that. You know what I'm saying? You've come out, you talked to Joe's ex-girls, y'all shared a hookah together. You can't be with a nigga you shared a hookah with.
Yeah. I don't like that I'm richer than you. And I mean, let's give Joe Budden credit. Like Joe Budden as a rapper, he was successful, right? Now he wasn't one of the greatest of all time, but he was successful, right? And he is like, name a bigger black podcast than Joe Budden's podcast.
It's not one.
It's not one. It's like this dude is literally the podfather.
And I think the reason why I think this would be a great rollout, because it helped them both.
It did. It
helped them both.
It did.
And Drake, his album's gonna shatter all the numbers. He gonna do another tour on this. I do hope Drake does take some years off. I do believe looking at it and looking at him and his kid, and he looks like he's enjoying like fatherhood.
He does. He's definitely his melanin is not putting up a fight worth a damn with his agent. So I mean, I give him that.
Well, no comment. And I was looking at before we go to the next thing, I was looking at T.I.'s son.
But the Barrettes and shit, that's too much.
Yeah, well, I mean, Drake's sassy, but y'all knew that already. I was looking at a video of T.I.'s son on a new podcast. And only the clip was, I didn't really pay attention to it, but I thought it was interesting hearing him talk about how he was raised by his grandparents. And I took that correlation to, this is why you don't respect your parents, right? And I say that to say you know, I think a lot of these celebrities do have to get to a point where they look at it and say, all right, I gotta do my part with my kid because I don't want them growing up with that. And I think Drake is going to take some time to say, all right, my kid is old enough. Let me take 2 years and let me sit at home with him.
I mean, he can sit home. I mean, he's super rich. Now, I think Drake is running into the MJ problem. MJ as a Michael Jackson problem of what is his spending like? Because this staying in this 14 to 28-year-old market, you know, for streams and for touring, like how long is that sustainable? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like 40, like it looks weird because we've never seen it done before. Yeah. Right. And I'm wondering is like, you know, Drake, you know, like to his point, right, of flying his 747 jet, right, and saying Budden takes first class, like
occasionally.
Yeah, occasionally. Right? So it was a shot, but it's a lame, you know, it's a lame swing.
Two people can be right.
Yeah, but yeah, it was funny. But you know, like that. How sustainable is that, right? Like if Drake, to your point, right, if he want to take a few years off, but if Drake's spending is absurd or astronomical, can he really afford to take time off? So I don't know. Like Drake is moving into a territory that we haven't seen before, and I think that's making it look weird. I can't really say that he's wrong from a financial or a business standpoint. Yeah. What I will say is that, you know, all the dudes who was real, that like, you know what I'm saying? Like Drake being able to make emotional music and becoming a star was because black men got behind him, was just like, yeah, this is new, this is different. I really rock with that, right? That audience is gone now. Yeah. Like we ain't really rocking with him. So like, is it sustainable? That's all I'm saying.
True that. Is this sustainable? Hold on.
Y'all know I love this. Look at me.
I'm gonna go get a hall pass and a freebie. Why can't I get one? It's a two-way street. This is the problem with men. They want everything to go their way. A man should get a hall pass.
He should.
He wants one.
Yeah.
People want a lot of shit. That don't mean they should get it.
Right, but you have a hall pass, but I want one too.
Whoa.
Exactly where I'm going.
When you do that type of shit, you open the floodgates to bullshit. Either you got an open relationship or you do not.
Hello.
And what if that bitch coochie better than yours? What if he nutted her? You bitches don't be thinking about that shit.
They sure don't. Would you allow your girl to get a hall pass?
No. Next question.
Okay. Come on, man.
No, not happening. Not happening. I'm not a stag. I'm not a cut. I always tell y'all that. And if you are, and if you will give your girl a hall pass, hey, big ups to you. Pastor Mike will not do that.
Well, you can't call out men no more.
So, baby, if you're listening, the answer is absolutely not. Better get that thing in before I get there. Because once I get there, that door is shut.
Come on, man. What? Look.
And here's the thing. So it's funny. We just had that conversation actually Friday night. I was at my boy's crib.
Okay.
He had like a couple of his homegirls over, and we was having that discussion of, you know, because somebody, like one of the young ladies was like, I think like, you know, her and her husband married for like 20 years. And she was like, no, they've never had like a threesome or anything. But she's like, she feels she don't want to be in a marriage anymore, basically, right? And she ready to go sow her wild oats. And one of the things that she want to do is like have a threesome. And she was just like, well, why you never did that in your marriage? And she was just like, she really didn't want to give dude the pleasure. So it wasn't
hold on. But she was gonna have a threesome with a nut.
If she divorced, that's one of the first things she want to do.
But she said she didn't want to give the other dude no pleasure.
Her guy.
Oh.
Not giving him that pleasure.
I'm about to say, damn, she wanted to train?
Yeah, so her friend was like, I'm gonna leave that alone. So her friend was like, you know, okay, well, what if, you know, if he gave you a threesome with a guy, would you give him a threesome with a lady, right? And then like her question was like, you know, are y'all guys okay with that? And I was just like, yo, I'm not okay with it. And I don't have to be okay with it, right? Because no one acts cucks when they let their women sleep around, right? No one says, well, are you gonna sleep around? Right? No one's looking out for them. The dude on Real Housewives that's crying right now because his woman, he gave her a hall pass, right? No one is asking, well, did you have a hall pass? And he was the one that was rich.
Yeah.
She was just pretty.
Yeah, well, you know. I'm not giving my girl a hall pass. I mean,
no. Answer's no.
Because if you want to go out there, sis, you gonna go out there. Like, I ain't got no time for that. Like, the hall pass is so that I don't be embarrassed or sound like this dude when I come. Hold on, where my man's at, man? This fool right here.
Gave him a hall pass, but here's the reason why. So after I cheated on my husband, I gave him a hall pass. But here's the reason why I did that. is because I didn't want to take the responsibility of getting rid of all demons that I opened up my marriage to. And usually this is what people do when they cheat. They want their spouse to cheat on them back. So
I hate when y'all get on the internet and start lying.
So to anybody who don't know who this is, you may have. That's the couple where the girl, the young lady. Look at me, giving them an extended adolescence, right? The young lady cheats on her man. He finds out. They join the church, and like her ministry is now, I cheated on my man, and look how much stronger our marriage is.
Yo, let me tell y'all something. People don't be mad. The body, look, they will be cool with only being upset about the body that you just added and what you may or may not have done if you didn't embarrass them. Yo, some of y'all are
bars.
Really, like some of y'all are really into like being embarrassed.
Yes.
And y'all love people having secondhand embarrassment of looking. Yo, to have your girl sit on your lap and she got this deer in headlights look on. And her thing is, yo, I wanted him to go out and sleep with somebody else because I slept with somebody else. Bro, that lets me know that your girl still got it in her, dog. I'm gonna let you know that right now, bro.
Hey, isn't that what the ladies say? Once a cheater, always a cheater.
Yeah, because what we doing here? Because
I don't necessarily believe that. But
I go smash another chick. I go smash a chick because you gave me a hall pass. What I supposed to think? We gonna go lay back up in the bed together and never have those feelings again? Like,
man, like,
come on.
Here's
son.
another thing. All right, for one. Don't want to cheat, right? I don't need a hall pass. I'm a grown up. If I want to do something, let's talk about it. So I don't need like, oh, I got this. I have special permission. No,
what do you do when your girl say no?
She say no. The answer's no. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's easy. Like, yo, if my woman tells me like, I have a wide berth of things that I'm allowed to do, right?
Okay.
Why would I mess that up by doing something that she doesn't want me to do?
Okay.
Because I'm the same way, right? Like my woman is not going to have such a wide berth, right? Maybe spending money, but not that. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, if everything is good, right? Why would she mess up our relationship by trying to do something that I've already said no to? So like, why would you do that, right? If I'm giving you everything you want, like, why would you try to mess it up because you want to do something extra? That's called doing too much and being extra.
Facts. I thought it was super interesting. Essence just put out an article about dating single moms. And it was interesting to say the least. A young lady, if you got the time or if you don't got the time, we about to give you an express version of the whole video. A young lady had wrote an article, recently divorced, has a young child, is getting back out there in the dating world. Woo, I know that's tough. And she's upset. And she's talking about how single men, are devaluing women because they have children. And I thought it was an interesting take because the article just seems so angry.
It was. Like she even put in there, think podcast bros raised by single moms, dragging today's single moms through the mud. Think high value men in group chats lamenting the audacity of a woman to ask them to pay for a sitter. Now that line right there, that kind of threw me, right? Yeah. Bruh, okay. I am not paying for your fucking babysitter.
Absolutely.
If I go out with you,
and I'm
right?
not buying your dirty ass kid no food at the restaurant either.
I wouldn't even say that about the kid. I'm not paying, like, so again, we always use the word accountability. Without responsibilities, there is no accountability. A man that you just met has no responsibility to your child.
Facts.
None, right?
Zero.
Same way if I meet a woman, she has no responsibility to my child.
Facts.
All right.
Zero.
So this idea of, that I am accountable for your sitter, that's insane.
And it's the same when y'all be wanting to go plates for your kid at home. Like, yo, why are you asking about a babysitter when the kid got a daddy?
Here's the thing. If you can't afford a babysitter, bars. He's a rapper.
I am.
Yeah, no, we need to go to that point. Yeah, why are you asking for a sitter when the child actually has a father?
And for y'all sitting at home like, what if the dad don't live there? Yo, I don't get.
Well, who moved away?
Who moved?
That's a lot of questions that need to be answered. And I
Absolutely.
think, and this is the problem with articles like this, right? Because it is saying that men owe something to women, right? And we always see this, and I'm not even going to ask the reverse question of like what women owe to men, right? This idea that men owe you something. Are you presenting your best self, right? When you show up with a child from another man, right? That is another man's cum drop that you're bringing to this new man, right? That's what it is, right? It's another man's life force that he's created. You've allowed this man in your womb during the most vulnerable, sensitive time of your body, with your hormones at the highest, the kitty cat on 400 degrees, and you allow someone to come in there and incubate a life in you.
These pastors and sex is amazing.
So when you ask a man to look at that and say, well, okay, well now you also owe me something, right? Like where are you getting that from? Like where are you getting the ideal, right?
The young girls.
I don't know where they're getting it from, right? But there's a lot of responsibility that comes with dating a woman with a child.
It is. And the funnier part was I read the whole article, and the only thing I could come up with at the end of the article is she is so upset with herself that she's in this situation. This woman, throughout the whole article, she reversed her anger and she projected it on men not wanting her that was raised by single moms. By single moms. Yeah. She said that several times throughout the article. And she wasn't blaming single men. It seemed like she didn't have an issue with men who was raised by two parents not wanting her. It was like, yo, how the hell am I a single mom? I'm assuming a single, a young man. I'm raising him, and you don't want me.
Well, let's read what she said. I find it intriguing that there's a possibility that these same men who look down on single moms will possibly create single moms themselves. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like as if there's a light in your head saying you're ovulating. Yeah. Don't nut in me.
Or it's like a light in my head like, yo, like women do not break up relationships.
We ain't even got to touch that, do we, Tia Mari?
But oh my God, now that was, yo,
we ain't even got to.
All I'm gonna say is you owe that man an apology.
That man catches strays on a Saturday morning on no reason. She like, I'm not going back, and I know he's like, I didn't ask you to come. This is you in the internet,
bruh.
Leave me out of it.
She cut some black chick out in the comments.
But here's the thing: men do not have a problem dating single moms. All right, men just understand what it takes to date a single mom. Right? What is the relationship between you and your child's father? Right? If that relationship is good, how good is good? Is it uniquely he's still staying the night over good, or is it just good parenting good? Right? If there's no relationship with that man, okay, why is there no relationship with this man? Is this a man that you met at the bar while you was ovulating? Or is this a
random nigga from Atlanta?
Yeah,
like the girl who's going crazy on TikTok.
Yeah, so it's like, exactly right. So it's like, it's so many questions that, we don't even really have permission to even ask, right? Because you're like, well, that's my business. So, if you get pushback and then you think that men owe you something when he has questions, you owe him nothing. I think that's why you're not dating. I don't think you're not dating because you're a single mom. I think you're not dating because you think that man should be paying for a babysitter, and he also is not owed anything when it comes to questioning how did you end up in the situation that you're in.
Yo, to everybody that's in the dating world, I'm not there, so I understand that y'all might discount this. Nobody, if you're in the dating world, people do not have to accept your trauma and live with it themselves.
Absolutely not.
I think it's unfair. I think it's disgusting. I think it's weird watching people say, hey, I've grown up with this trauma that I refuse to address, whether it's through therapy or just talking to the person and fixing issues and thinking that, yo, I have to deal with it. Let's say I don't have a kid. I don't have to date a woman because in there she listed, hey, is it the tight scheduling? Is it I don't have time for the BS? Is it we can't go out? Is it I can't travel? She listed all the things she can't do because she has certain responsibility. If I am a single man and I don't have kids, I don't have to accept that about you. Now, what I shouldn't do is play with you and waste your time. No, I should accept you and keep it moving.
And you shouldn't automatically assume that if it doesn't work out, it's because you're a single mom.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I read the article and I don't think she's likable.
Well, duh, you saw the first paragraph. I know she wasn't likable after that.
I don't think, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't even think it's the kid. I think the kid probably awesome. I don't think she's likable. Yeah. At no point in this article did she not do anything but dunk on low-hanging fruit, right? Podcasters, Kevin Samuels, and men leaving women. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these, if you write an article and you just hit every freaking trope of what black men look like, then I'm sorry, I don't have to sit here and try to assume that you were being objectionable when you wrote the article. Like, you're probably just not a likable person. And I think sometimes the ladies struggle with that. I think sometimes women, they struggle. Well, I think they know it, but they struggle with the idea of them not being likable, right? Because we see when they post stuff like men have sex with women that they don't like, right? And it's like, well, I mean, if you're not likable, right, and you still want to do it, you know what I'm saying? Because like, you know, men aren't taking it, right? If you still want to do it and you're not likable, I mean, hell, that's marriage sometime.
Look, and go get back with your ex-husband. How about that?
Yeah, go get back with your ex.
How about y'all
go
figure
get
that
back
out?
with your baby daddy? But no, y'all don't want to do that because y'all don't go to therapy.
Look, speaking of, I don't want to keep going back to Drake. I do think it was interesting that the internet was out here clowning Drake for dissing Rihanna, which was it was weird.
That was weird. Like the anti-song. I mean, you put me on when I got here because I did not listen to the
I thought
Drake
it was
album
super
'cause
interesting.
I'm not a fan anymore. But
and then to see Sierra, who's on a press run, taking the opportunity to keep talking about Future, which I'm not here to kill Sierra again, because as a huge Future fan, he does this every album for at least 3 songs.
He definitely takes shots, right? But okay, so it goes back to the question of, you know, all right, who's really the bigger person, right? Because like, you know, Future is literally a toxic meme. So when he does something, we kind of expect it to be done, right?
Yeah.
Like, are we looking at Ciara saying that she's also being toxic? Because like so the interview you referred to, where she gives like that long laugh and her and the lady going back and forth because she asked about her ex, right? Like, how much more appropriate it would have been for her to just been like, you know, hey, we've had our moments, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I've grown. I think he's growing.
No, I want you interviewers who sit down with Sierra to ask her, hey, did you know he was a shitty dad before you got pregnant?
That's the question that needs to be asked.
That's the question that has to be asked.
That, yeah.
And y'all won't do it.
No,
and I know why you won't.
You see, you beat me to it. Never mind.
I know why y'all won't do it.
We know why they won't do it.
But please,
we know why
I want somebody to get the balls and say, hey, did you have any inkling? Because a lot of people, a lot of men and a lot of women, the hardest thing ever is hearing people complain about the person they chose to have a child with and then say, yeah, I just ignored all the signs. Because it is a part of having accountability, which the chick in the Essence article did not have. It's hard to have that and then to be honest and say, yo, I'm gonna continue this slander tour when I didn't have accountability. So yeah, I need you people. Yeah, to the lady who just interviewed her, to the chick who you let Sierra get that long ass laugh off, say, hey, he had 5 baby mamas before. I told y'all I'm giving you a pass on the first baby mom and I'm giving you a pass on the second baby mom.
You only get a pass on the first one. I'm sorry.
Nah, cause dudes can hide their first baby mom.
Dude,
you can hide your first baby mom.
Dude, if I tell you I have a kid and you never see my kid,
or I don't tell you I don't have a kid.
Like, yo,
and
dig deeper.
Wait,
I'm sorry. Dig deeper.
I mean, I can see how the second baby mom could be like, yo, I didn't even know. Because here's the other thing. Men will lie. They will tell you, oh, she won't allow me to see my kid. She won't do this. You know what? Niggas have gotten away with people not even knowing they have kids. I've seen this happen.
That's a shitty dude. But if you know a dude have a kid and he never sees his kid, right? Like, come on, like, because here's the thing. If he never sees his kid and he actually has a relationship, right? Because, you know, she moved to Seattle because of work or whatever. And he's like, yeah, you know, I either have to go there or my son comes here for 2 weeks. But he FaceTime his son all the time. Okay, he might be in his child life, right? But if he's like, yo, my kid is in like, we're in Charlotte, right? And he's like, yo, my kid is in fucking Rock Hill, Huntersville. And he never sees his kid. I'm sorry. You know better.
Nah, not really. I know too many men personally who have gotten off my first baby mom ain't shit. And I've seen them. They cool dudes. For the relationship I have with them, I haven't seen too many dudes get that shit off.
But so let's go to the question of that you have, like, when is it time to let it go, right? Because I'm gonna be honest, I have no desire to bash anybody that I ever have kids with. The woman I have a child with now, any future women I have kids with. Yeah. And the reason for that is, at the end of the day, I still see that as a reflection of me.
Absolutely.
So
it's gonna live on the internet.
Yeah. So it's like exactly, especially on the pod. But it's like I would, but even if I wasn't on the pod, right? Like I would not walk up to people and just be like, "Yo, I had a child with the shittiest woman in the world," right?
Facts.
Yo, that makes me look bad.
It does.
I'm sorry. So if dudes out here bashing their children's mom, and if women are out here bashing their children's father, like people aren't telling you this. So let Pastor Mike will tell you this. You do look bad. Like people listen to your story and they'll shake their head and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, he was sorry, yeah, he was shit." And you know what they saying in their head? Like, "Yo, you a dumbass. You a dumbass," because every sign was there.
Facts. And you know the funnier part is, It's like, dog, we do this. Y'all, we love when you know, it's annoying when y'all post your relationships and it's going up on Facebook and you're showing everything, you're holding hands, you're having dates to Zaxby's and you're going hard, right? And then your socials go silent. No. You've been throwing in my face for the last 3 years that this man has been the greatest man on earth, this woman been the greatest woman on earth. And now y'all beefing. Like, we want to see what's going on, right? People love drama. People love, people like watching a car crash. So when you start putting your car crash on the internet for everybody to see, people will remember, people will share, and your shit gets sent. I know a chick right now. She left her man. She left her husband, dog. She's, and the crazy part is she wants to get remarried. She's always posting, I want to get remarried. I want to get remarried. Guess what her ex-husband just did?
Got remarried.
He just got remarried. Bruh, let me tell y'all this. 5 people sent me this man's proposal video, or his wedding video. Bruh, people love seeing car crashes.
People love seeing car wrecks. People love, they love your demise. Like, don't kill your ex. Like, period.
Nah,
like, that's all I'm saying. Like, let it go.
Pointless.
Like, do not kill your ex on the internet, on social media. Like,
Just
even
follow
if you don't
them
like
and make sure they still doing bad. That's all you gotta do.
don't even follow them.
Let me
Do well. Do better yourself.
Please do better. Yo, let me tell y'all something. Episode 110, 2 pods ago, got y'all in the chokehold. I have updated my list of people I'm no longer speaking to. We are adding incels to that list. I said it last week. I know I said it 2 weeks ago. Excuse me. I said incels. I literally gave the definition of it. But who else I'm adding to that list? If you are a C&D student, I can no longer respond to you on Instagram, especially if you talking to me from a burner account. It's kind of pointless. It's kind of unfair of a conversation because you're not even man enough or woman enough to come to the front of the congregation and say, yo, I'm talking trash about you. So what you do is you hide and run and you hit up everybody else that you know that got a Finsta or a fake account and you say, hey, come pal on. I'm no longer talking to C&D students. Last 2 podcasts ago, I had to put out the full video to give context because some of y'all are just slow. Yo, if you cannot listen to a conversation and understand where a comma or a period is inserted, then we can no longer speak. That podcast, there's a clip that's going around, and I said I am no longer talking to men that cannot get laid. Not men that don't want to get laid, which y'all tried to throw on me and say, oh, you're shaming virgins. I don't care about virgins. I was a virgin. Look, I went out and had sex for the first time because of my whole friend group had sex the whole time, just for me to announce that I lost my virginity, for all of them to announce that they was lying. So let me tell you something. And look, and I lost it to a chick who oh my gosh, I think I unfollowed her on the internet because she is hideous. But I say that to say I'm never going to shame virgins because, yo, if that's what you choose to do, that's what you choose to do.
It's nothing wrong with it. And
Absolutely.
When we were talking about virgins, we were talking about men approaching women, right? We're talking about men are involuntarily virgins, right? Because they don't know how to have communication with the opposite sex. Now, this ideal of, if you're a good dude and you do everything the right way, big ups to you. You're a better man than all of us. So that was not the conversation. Absolutely.
And Mike brung up, well, the statistic that is rising, just to point out the stigma that, men are out here there's this stigma that men are just out here just sleeping with
everything.
And Mike brung that up.
Yeah, it's not the case.
I cut him off because that's not what we were talking about. And I said, yeah, these dudes are walking around out here with a do not F me sign on their forehead. That is not virgins. Literally, that's men who women do not want. Now, to watch y'all take that and then for dudes to get in the comments, and I love it, yo. I'm going to tell y'all this. It is getting kind of weird when y'all get out here and, I'm not talking to incels and men go, well, you're ugly. That's hilarious to me. Especially because I'm clicking on profiles and from all accounts, y'all appear to be heterosexual men. So it's throwing me off, right?
And also, I'm going to say this, man. Like, men that are good with women do not actually have to always be attractive.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all know that.
I don't know if y'all aware of that. Like, unattractive men could get laid,
or that women think all of us ugly.
And 80% of women think that all men are ugly.
Yeah, I mean,
so being attractive isn't really what get men laid. Anyway, I mean, just the conversation, again, if you have to listen to the pod to get context, I honestly do not care. You can take the small dunks in the comment section. I do not care. Now, when we come back and we roast your ass, like don't get upset.
do
realize that's the chance you take coming on Black Dads Club. We see the comments when they come in sometimes. Sometimes we're too busy to respond.
Yeah, we working or recording.
Sometimes we got time.
It's absolutely. But it was funny to see, the incels showed me why these women will not give them some. And that's why I kept saying, I was like, damn, if this is how this is how y'all comprehend information, I can understand why women are like,
so
I'm good.
It goes back to the conversation that we also had that, men are, society have told men to be one way, right? So when we look at the comment section, all those guys think that they're, defending women's honor, right? Mm-hmm. And they're hoping that that's going to get them some trim.
Yeah, it don't.
Like,
and it is what it is. Quickly, we're gonna run through these sports takes because as y'all know, the vagina dries up. They leave, they click out right here. Your team won again.
Yeah, 5-0. We're gonna be 13-0 when we see Philadelphia, or 12-0, whatever that'll be when we see Philadelphia.
Oh, so you think y'all gonna win all this?
Yeah, we might go. You know what? I ain't gonna say it.
Don't do it.
I ain't gonna do it.
Do it. My Panthers are 0-5. It sucks, man. It's tough out here. Just to let everybody know, I took my first L in fantasy. I lost 181 to 100. It was an ass whooping, man. Yeah, bro. My quarterback, the Chargers was on a bye week, so that, and then it was just that, and then Dak was my starting quarterback. No need to say anything.
Don't say anymore.
KD, I don't know how I feel about you being the AR of the A&R over this Drake project. I'm gonna just let you know that
Kevin Durant is
A&R over it. He did pretty well. I think it's interesting to hear these athletes investing money in A&R and projects. Kawhi did one, I think 2 years ago. LeBron did 2 Chainz 2 albums ago. I think it's super interesting that these guys are getting into music. And, they do listen to a lot of music. So I guess, some of y'all need to start letting the strippers A&R some projects. Because they know it works. That's my other problem with Drake, man. Like, you are around the strippers and the young girls. I keep saying it, and they do know what's be popping.
Well, I mean, but that explains his longevity and
Absolutely.
him being able to stay in that range.
Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. Let's dig into T.O., man. T.O. got on, and he talked about how he don't date black women, and he mentioned that how he was mistreated by black women, and he followed up with, I started talking to white women, and it just been like that ever since.
Yeah. Here's the thing when it comes to T.O. Don't say nothing, right? Like, if you can't have a conversation without denigrating another demographic, and I know sometimes y'all like, y'all dunk on women all the time on the pod. No, we don't. We talk about what men talk about, right? It's not dunking on women, right? But we don't sit here and be like, don't date black women. And T.O., here's the problem I have, right? If you are a 6'3", super in shape guy, and you can't get laid, bro, that's on you. That ain't got nothing to do with the women.
Facts.
That's your confidence level, right? Like there's no way that you were not a top athlete, because you got to be a top athlete to get a scholarship. I don't care what college you go to.
Facts.
I know he went to a small college.
Yeah.
He had to be tall. Yeah, for whatever reason, like, you couldn't land women, man. That's the conversation that you could have. And that's the first part. Second part of, that I have that conversation is, if you started dating all these women that were not black once you got drafted to the league, you're even a bigger dummy than I'm thinking you are. Like, was he dating those women when he was at whatever small college he went to? Or is he talking about when he got old? I didn't see the whole interview.
He said when he got to college.
When he got to college.
He said it started when he got to college. And part of me can understand. My issue with it is I understood where he was coming from at first. And I was just like, here you go, man. Like, I don't believe in giving women ammo against black men.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that. So I can understand being somebody growing up, because he brung out some good points. He was like, didn't come from money. I was too dark.
Is he married now?
I don't think so, man.
So what the fuck are you talking about then?
So that's why I'm gonna get there. So I'm listening at this and I can understand, because me personally, I went through that. I went through, like I always say all the time, I understand that because I grew up in a situation where the only women that used to always talk about me were black women, right?
Yeah.
Now I didn't grow up with a disdain for black women, because it is what it is.
Dude,
and then
that's part
also
of becoming a man.
Well, yeah, and then but sometimes it's unfair to men just to be like, because women don't get to do that. We don't get to give them that pass. That black men we don't get to give them the pass of saying, hey, becoming part of being a black woman is growing up is black men are just going to trash you for your whole life and it's cool. That we don't do that to them. They have whole movements for that. So, and black men don't. So, but I'm not even trying to go there. What I am trying to say is, on the flip side of that, guess what the women who showed me the most love were? Black women.
Yeah.
So I understand that, maybe it's not a black thing. It's a woman thing.
It's a woman thing.
Because I didn't hang around a lot of Asian women, Hispanic women, white women. I didn't. I only hung around black women. I was only approaching black women. So they showed the most love and it was the most issues. Now, I do think that there is an issue. And the more I talk to black men, this is the other part where I understand Terrell. Then I'm going to get to what I didn't, or Terrell, the thing is, when you talk to black men and they do say, hey, the most issues I faced amongst women was black women. And they say, I have to remind black women, stop telling your sons, come from outside, you gonna get too dark. Because you hear that first from your dad never tells you that,
it's definitely
never
colorism. And
so you experience that first. Whenever I talk to black women, I say, they always talk about colorism. I'm like, well, who did you face colorism from the most? They all typically, if they not on the internet and they talk to you in person, they be like, I got it mostly from black women, more black women than black men. So I do understand that. But at the same time, I look at Terrell and I go, hey, bruh, why you got to put them down to praise white women in this situation? And then at the same time, you just giving them ammo, because now black women are going to raise their hand and say, here's another example of, hey, y'all got a preference. Y'all do have a preference. And now you're using your preference to put down us. And now it's this whole gender war.
And Terrell, however you pronounce his name, he's in his late 40s, man. Like, bro, this should have been fixed a decade ago.
2
decades ago. But I give y'all to 35. After 35, I do not care what the hell happened to you. I don't give a fuck what happened to Terrell Owens when he was fucking 17 and 18, bro. Yeah. Like, that's life, dude. Like, you're gonna have to deal with something, right? You had to deal with that. And this is another thing that goes under. It really goes under the radar, right? The dudes who really don't complain about women has suffered the most rejection from women than anybody else. They're numb to that shit.
Yeah.
they don't. So when I see Terrell still like being in his 40s and he's still thinking about rejection from women, it's like, bro, you should have been done with this.
Well, have you noticed that his whole life, his whole career has been him dealing with rejection from all types of people?
Yeah,
and it's weird because it's unaddressed.
But let's be clear though, he's also not the most likable person. Now, he stayed out of trouble, but there was no place where he's ever been where you was like, this is the most affable motherfucker on the team, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And no place has he ever been there. So again, you got to do that self work, man. Like, I didn't like it because it's a 48 or however old he is, man whining.
Yeah.
Like, no, they didn't like me. Like, dude, who gives a damn?
Bro, his whole life, you remember, I don't know if you remember. There was
this chick in high school that I wanted to date from 9th grade to 12th grade, bro.
Okay.
Never bagged her.
Man.
Never bagged her.
Stop talking to Shannon's, bro.
Yeah, she never bagged her. It's like, but it's like.
What was her name?
I don't want to say, because she I wouldn't date her now. So it doesn't matter, right? But the point is, it's like, imagine me taking that to college and then being like, yeah, fuck off.
No, imagine you talking about it on the podcast. Like, if you was going in on the podcast.
If I was going in on her, right? Like, imagine if I was going in on her and I am good in my 40s. Like, bro, no, it's lame. It is.
No, it's super lame. And it's sometimes black men, it might be unfair, but sometimes you are representing and speaking for other black men.
It is unfair. And, and to all y'all who think that we don't, hold men accountable.
There you go.
Check out the last 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
We just did that.
Yo, Japanese man lives with his wife. He's there for his kids. Haven't spoken to her in over 2 decades.
Over 2 decades, because he said that she treated the kids like better than what she treated him. But he's childish.
That was so stupid, man.
He childish. He got to grow up, man. Talk to your wife, man. I'm not holding a grudge for. Look, if I live with a woman, man, like I'm gonna be honest. Now that whole like don't go to bed mad stuff, like I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I'd be like, yeah,
you got to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep on the couch. But I'm like, dude, I do not like staying mad. I could imagine for 20 years, like to be honest, 24 hours is really the most I could really get that shit. Before I'm like, baby, like I need a hug.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I have a 24-hour rule. Yeah. And I think she knows when I'm upset because I'm very much like, yo, leave me alone. Like I'm good. I remember one time I was mad, bro. I came home, got the kid, and left right back out. Like, you know what I'm saying? But 24 hours, you know what it is? Some shit just ain't that serious, bro.
Mostly shit. I don't think any of the shit that we really get upset with be that serious, bro.
Yeah, it's not that deep. Yeah. And you know, I had a situation. It was funny. This might be the first time she hear this, but I was upset because my wife didn't cook for me one day. Right?
Boy, you gonna get cooked.
Yeah.
For that.
But you know, the funnier part was she cooked for herself and the kid. And for me, it was like, nah, she just didn't. And it could have been fixed with like, it could have been fixed with a I'm sorry or my bad. I don't even need a sorry. And I would have gotten it, right? But it was just like a what? Right? And so I was mad for the whole day. And it was funny because I saw a dude a couple of days later. We was out and he had been married for real. Also, I don't believe in discussing marital issues with people that ain't married.
Facts.
Like, y'all opinions with me don't matter. Cause you don't know what it's like when you like it's real shit on the line if y'all decide to like break this off, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm talking to this dude and he's there and he's married and me and him are having a conversation and he gets where I'm coming from. And then he looked at me, he said, I bet you won't turn that shit in to go outside. I said, to go back dating? He said, I bet you won't turn in this argument. I said, hell nah. I said, bro, look, it's a simple thing. It of course upset me. I was like, but guess what? Went home that night, gave her a kiss. We made up like it, and then we didn't even discuss it. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Me and my wife never even discussed that issue because she knew what was up. You know what I'm saying? But it was one of them things like, bruh, am I gonna mess up? Am I gonna allow this 30-second disagreement mess up my next 30 days with this woman? No. So take the time you need. Sit your ass down. It's going to be okay. Now, if something becomes an issue, you do need to start talking about stuff. Yeah. But I knew that situation, even though I was mad, it wasn't her character.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do got to recognize your woman's character. And look, don't marry her. Don't get her pregnant.
There you go. You can't work with her. Do not get her married. Do not marry her. Do not get her pregnant. Pregnancy is the biggest thing. Do not get a woman pregnant you don't want to be with.
Facts. Yo, what you doing this weekend?
Got kiddo, man. So I don't know. Taking it easy.
What y'all doing? Y'all gonna go Discovery Place? Baseball game? Is it baseball season?
Oh, I think baseball season. We might go to. I want this Renaissance Festival still going. We might go to Renaissance Festival this weekend. Take him up there, love.
Have you taken your kid to Disney World yet?
No, I think he went with his mom though.
Oh, yeah. I saw this funny ass clip about taking your kid to Disney World, and it did not make me want to take my kid because they were talking
There's nothing about Disney World that makes me want to go to Disney World. Low key, I think she did invite me when they went, and I think I was just like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, yo, the dude's video, I gotta send it to you. It's the funniest thing. He was like, yo, you're gonna go to Disney World, you're gonna be there for 8 hours, you're gonna get on 2 rides, and you're gonna spend hundreds of dollars. Don't go. But he was like, you got to take your kid. So it's funny because now we talking about taking a baby next year now because they free before 3. And you know.
Disney World, from everybody who's gone to Disney World, it's like 5,000 plus.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend that kind of money to stand in line. I'm sorry.
Me either, bro.
I don't.
So I'm thinking about it. Yo, to our swim group. Our swim group is no more swimming, man. No more swimming. You know my swim group. It's no more, bro.
It's cold.
Nah, because Aqua Tots down there in Myers Park, they are full of shit. They are. Look, to all dads, this is the dad tip of the week. If your kid goes to Aqua Tots in Myers Park, pull them out right now. Bro, they canceled so many classes on us that we couldn't even swim, man. Like our swim teacher, this man wanted to, be admirable and he wanted to become a firefighter. So he left. I get it. I respect him. Cool. Yo, they gave no replacement. They kept canceling classes. And, shout out to them because they called my wife with the BS. They told her she ain't had no makeup classes. And she was like, yo, you've literally canceled 5 classes this week. And they was like, oh, why systems don't show no classes for you? So Karina was going off with that, right? And then, the craziest part is her card expired. And bruh, like 2 months prior to that, I went and bought my kid some chips. And they charged my card from getting him chips, bruh. The whole fee for the month. And I was they got me. And I was like, yo, what the heck? So I see a random charge for a couple $100. I'm like, what is this? And then she was like, have you ever used your card there? I'm like, y'all used my card there one time. I bought him chips.
They were like, nah, we're going to get our money.
We going to get the money. And it's crazy, man. But yeah, do not go to Aquatas. But shout out to the swim group. They supposed to be coming on. Starting, we will be doing YouTube exclusive. I should have did this at the top of the pod. I will be doing videos. I'm actually recording one today with a guy over Active Dads. He's coming on. We're going to talk about his program. So you will only be able to see that on YouTube. Shout out to our YouTube channel. Go subscribe. Get us. We are going to get 1,000 before the year is out.
Yes.
Subscribers. So please go there, subscribe, like, whatever, man. And with that, we're going to holler at y'all next time.
Holler at your boy.